Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm getting ready to go present and speak at my at this church. And I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. So, let's get into it. So, I got packed my stuff, my computer, everything. So, let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, okay. Maybe link in the bio soon. Coming soon. But I'm gonna go get ready, get my drink ready, and then I'll meet you guys in the car. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, let's do it. I should make bracelets, should I? I'm back, guys. What's up, guys? I'll see you guys at the 508. That's where I'm going to go grab a drink. Not that kind of type of drink, it's just soda. So, see you guys there. Yeah, I cannot wait for this. This is gonna be amazing. So, 508? Let's do it. Now it's time to go to the church. So, let's get into it. Guys, I'm looking kind of nervous right now. Do it. Yeah. I'll see you guys there. Come for the ride. Let's go. Oh, yeah, my bad. Is it this one? Chat.
Hey, I told you, AJ, at the end I will explain what that means.
Okay, cool. I don't know what that means, but
It's okay. It's not a cult thing. It's fine.
it's not a cool thing, but it's fine. Hi guys, what's up? I'm AJ. I'm a 2025 graduate at Blaine, and now I am here speaking at the youth group. So yeah, let's get into it. After I open up my laptop. So okay, before I get started, who has a phone that every time they get up they just look at the phone? Be honest.
Yeah,
Okay. So I did that one time. A lot of times I'll just look at my phone every time I wake up, and again I looked it up and it's really bad for you. So what I did usually is every time I wake up, I always put my phone in a far away space. So like it can be in a drawer, it could be on your table or your desk. And then every time you look at your phone, you're probably scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, checking out your social media, see if someone liked your post or something. Don't worry, I do that too. So I usually have this Bible quotes on my phone. Do you guys know what that is? They'll have every time you open your phone, it has a Bible quote like right there. Yeah. And every time I open that, I always read it and just always pray every morning. Who prays every morning? Okay, that's not a lot, but that's okay. It happens. So I must share a powerful quote with you guys. It is called, "Even if you fail once, that doesn't change who you are. There's always space for success." So let's get into it. So it all started when I was a junior, trying to fit in high school, going around laughing and making new friends. High school is scary. If you're a freshman or a sophomore or even a junior, it's still scary at the moment. And still, before much time has passed, this one guy was starting to spread rumors. He was telling me bad stuff about me, and this spread across the whole school. And saying all these mean things to me, like, I don't know. I can't remember what he said. But it's a good thing I didn't. But it's been going on for quite a while. I think it's been going on for maybe, I say, 3 months, before somebody finally told me what happened. And after I found out, they stopped throwing eggs at my car. They spray paint my car. And they scratched my car. So they kind of did a lot of things to bring me down. And to be honest, it worked. All that hit, and I was trapped in a really dark place. And that dark place was not a good thing. Overwhelmed by depressing thoughts that made me feel hopeless and alone. I kept on making mistakes over and over, and at the time, no one would understand what I was going through. At that time, I've been avoiding friends and my parents because I just didn't want them to know what's going on. My natural response to the whole thing was just not to tell anyone. Like, I couldn't even tell my best friend. I couldn't even tell my pastor. I couldn't even tell who this one friend who always was there for me. I didn't even tell him that. And it's scary, being alone in your room, just balled up and just don't know what to do. Like, being alone kind of hurts, but sometimes it can be good because sometimes if you be alone, you can talk to Jesus about it. But then one day, this bad thought was starting to push into my brain. And totally, if I'm being honest with you guys, it was scary because it's going to be a little harsh, a little hard, but it was telling me that I wanted to commit suicide. I know this is like going sad, so don't worry, it's going to go happy soon. My first instinct was like, no, like that is a terrible idea. But I could have pushed it away, so at the end, my thoughts won. So that means Satan won, and he pulled me into the dark. And I couldn't get out because I was trapped. I was locked in a cage, and I couldn't find the key to open it. So I went to my car, and I told my parents, like, hey, I'm just going for a drive. And I did lie. So I went to a bridge, which I was just, at that time, I wasn't really thinking in my brain at that time. And when I was at that bridge, I heard a voice, like a slight little voice, like a whisper, but like kind of like that. And it said, don't do it. And at that time, I was thinking, I looked around and like I had nobody on my right, on my left, behind me. And I was looking around, but at that time, right then, I knew that I met Jesus. Not at a perfect moment, but right in the middle of my thoughts of suicidal. Even though I was not perfect at that moment, Jesus never stopped to judge me. He's there so he can help you with whatever's going on. And so he offered me hope in a new beginning. And that hope led me to find this youth group at Cornwall. It's called Encounter. I do have a hat, and it says, love God, love others. And which I gotta thank my good friend who got me into it. And at first, I was confused because I low-key did not know about Jesus. I wasn't really focusing on Jesus. I wasn't really reading the Bible, all that kind of stuff. So I was pretty much new, like a baby Christian, as what the kids call it, I think. And so, but in that church, it felt so different. Like it was a different environment than outside of the church. Wait a minute, I think I lost me. Okay. But then I wanted to learn more about Jesus. And he was like, oh, this look interesting. I think when I first was there, I think we were reading the book of John. I think is either that or Proverbs, something like that. But this one day, this guy named Gonzo, it's his camp name, called Camp Furwood. Maybe you guys heard of it, maybe you guys haven't. I was a CIT there, and ops, and he came to my youth group, and he was talking to, I always said that, guys, my bad. and then at the point I was like, dang, that sounds really cool. Going to from church, going to this big Furwood thing, church camp. I get to ride tubes. I was water skiing. Have you guys water ski or tubing? Yeah, you guys get flipped over on the tube once? Yeah, it's not fun. I almost hurt my neck. And so so after that, he came up to me and he saw something in me that I haven't saw in myself. And that was like a, what do you say? He felt like Jesus wants me to go to Furwood. And so I went there. I packed my bikes and I went there. And it was like the whole summer, I think. It was exhausting because kids are crazy. They ran around. I think one of my kids ran away on accident because he was lost. And Furwood's like huge, so it's like 90 acres. I don't know. So we had to look in the deep of the forest, and we had to go to the South Cove. And oh man, it was such crazy. And I didn't get in trouble, thankfully, but my counselor did. So it's not me. But that's bad. Don't lose a kid if you ever be a CIT. It won't look good on your resume. When you come back. But when I was there, I began to feel Jesus' presence more than ever. Like, it was really close. Like, I felt him. He was, like, standing right here next to me. Like, right here. And finally, one day, it was Wednesday, I think June or July. Is it June? No, that's not June. Hold up, guys. July 1st. I think that's a Wednesday, right? I don't know. Yeah, that one. Yeah, so that one day, I finally decided to give my life to Jesus. Thank you. At that time, when I first gave my life to Jesus, I felt like everything just just blew away. All my past thoughts went away. All my thoughts about suicide went away. Everything just blew, and it was just I was crying. And I'm not saying this, but man doesn't cry that much. But I gotta say I do cry. It's okay to cry sometimes. But that time, at that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I felt release. And so at that time, when I gave my life to Jesus, what told me, he came in, he unlocked the cage, and he let me out into the light. Andrew was talking about in Genesis on let there be light, and right in there, because I was in a dark place. I was in a cage, dark, and just no light until Jesus came, unlocked the cage, and just let me out into the light. And so after forward, I found my favorite Bible verse, and this is stick to me. It's burned to my skull. I promise you guys, I'm getting a tattoo of that. It's burned in my skull. So it's called Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. So it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understandings. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. We had to tell these to the kids the whole summer, and sometimes they don't pay attention, so we had to raise our voices, which I don't like doing, but they listen. So that was good. One of the key moments at Furwood was my cabin. I think it was middle schoolers, so middle school ages. I think all of them. We were at this worship, and it was just. I think the citizens came to perform. It's crazy. It's nice. We got a free performance now. You don't have to pay to get in. And it was such a good environment. And then at the end, Gonzo was saying this thing is if you want to give your life to Jesus, this is the moment to do it. And this really actually made me cry too. I was reading my Bible, helping some kids learn about Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And then they went back to the cabin, so I walked up by myself. And then when I got to the cabin, the whole cabin gave their life to Jesus. The whole, every single kid in that cabin was I want to give my life to Jesus. And they've been saying one and one and one and one. And at that time, I was, oh my gosh, I was so proud of them. because at their age, like, they didn't really understand Jesus. Like, I haven't when I was a junior in high school. But they were like, you know what, this seems so awesome, and so that means I want to give my life to Jesus. And they actually did baptize one of them, so that was one of the key moments of my life too. And so within that mind, I found my newfound Christ in Christ, if I said that right. And at that time, I felt free. It felt amazing. I felt like I was a new man, a new person. And so much better than I did. So I think November 24th, 2024, 2 years ago.